We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest in everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about how the rally that formed over the last couple of days is now in danger. If you were not already aware, Bitcoin rallied all the way up to about $28,545, and from there, we've been going through a correction. So in today's video, as promised from yesterday's video, we are going to be talking about the trade setup for the next leg of this rally all the way up to 31.5, how we may confirm that that movement is occurring and how we're going to get there. But first, we have to back up and talk about the correction that we've seen over the last 24 hours, because if Bitcoin is not able to get back to 28,545 and eventually breach it, then there's no point even talking about the trade setup in the first place. So welcome to Coffee and Crypto. As I said, this is a weekdaily morning show where we bring you all kinds of information about what's going on in the cryptocurrency markets, fundamentals, economics, geopolitics, technicals. I throw it all at you so you can build a comprehensive picture of what's going on in the world and how it applies to your cryptocurrency investments. We talk about the stock market every once in a while as well. So welcome to the show for everyone who is new here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got a lot of people in chat. I want to go ahead and give some big shout outs to you guys. Alex Nybo is in chat, said, good morning. Sean O'Brien in chat said, hey. Thomas Post said, morning fam. Joe Bollier is in chat. Crypto Surge in chat said, good morning, Crypto Jeb. Good morning, everyone. Philly Scales 1428 said, morning Jeb, another day, another dollar, or Satoshi. Absolutely. Philippe said, aloha from Bulgaria. Aloha. Rocket Metal News in chat. Thomas Post says, SBF facing the music today. It's not so much da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. It's more like dun, 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 dun. That's kind of the more music that he's facing. Hampus Levinson is in chat. Herman Barba. I thought that was going to say Herman. What's the guy's name from Remember the Titans? Is his name Herman? Welcome to the show where I get sidetracked sometimes. Coach Herman Walker? Is it Herman Walker? Oh, come on. Tell me the name. I think it's Herman Walker. Anyway, if anybody's ever seen Remember the Titans, it's a great movie. Crypto Mini Bikes in chat. J.A. Getford in chat. Randy Tanner's in chat. Queen's in chat. Shaq with the combo is in chat. Ninja Glock. What's up, Ninja Glock? Good to see you. Press O'Neill's in chat. And Queen. Shout out to everybody who joined the Discord server yesterday. Just going to go ahead and give a quick shout out to the Discord server. We've had so much conversation. Yesterday, I decided in the Discord server, you can see on the announcements right here, I was going to jump on a call at 3 p.m. Did that. We had about 10 people in there. Had a great conversation between myself and Kavik, one of our admins. We had a great conversation with Phil. OMAC was in there. Queen joined for a little bit. Shout out to all of you guys that were in that call. That was a whole lot of fun. I was in there for about 45 minutes. We've got some very interesting AI-generated GIFs going on over here. Apparently, I am Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it's probably because yesterday on stream I said, hello there. Hello there. I wish I had a lightsaber. That'd be so cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump straight on into the technical analysis. We've got a lot to cover today. Thank you to our community for supporting us over on the Discord server and here in the chat. All right. Shout out to everybody who I missed as well. There's so many of you guys. Right now, Bitcoin is at 27.4, and the reason that's important is because Bitcoin did rally all the way up here to the top of our trade signal. Now, originally, our trade did end out right about here, and then we looked down and we said, you know what, that should probably end right before 28,545 because that's such an important level. So that trade ended up working. If you're in that trade, good for you. If you're in that trade and you didn't close that, well, you're actually in negative now. So hopefully you closed that and took your profit when it was time to. But as I said in yesterday's video, if you didn't watch that, I'd recommend going back and watching that. It got about 6,000 views or so, so you probably did see it if you're here today. But I can show you real quick in this video right here, Bitcoin to 31,500. But first, beware. In that video, I discussed how Bitcoin is likely going to go to 31.5, but there are some issues that Bitcoin is running into, and the first of those is that Bitcoin still has to get above this level. So let's give a little bit of a recap. I'll talk about the levels I discussed in that video just so that you can see it on a chart, because that was a phone video, and then from there we'll discuss, one, how to get back to 28,545 and what we need to do to get there, and then from there we can discuss how we will get to 31.5, because I do believe that both of those things will occur. Historically, we first have to start with 28,545. It's the critical level. I've talked about this level ad nauseum seen over the last year. But I'll mention it briefly. It was set on June 22nd, 2021, and we saw that was our absolute bottom for that inter-bull market correction. Bitcoin rallied 145% from there. We came back down, back tested it again. Then we saw Luna, 3AC, who else? Voyager. We saw all kinds of companies collapsing, and then that dropped us through 28,545, and then we dropped down to our eventual bottom at 15K. We ended up rallying back to this level, using it as resistance in late March. Then we used it as resistance again here in late May, and then we used it as support here in middle August, first part of August. That shows us that this is a very important level. And when we look at what Bitcoin has done over the last couple of days, we can see that we've rallied all the way up to 28,545 right now, and we've corrected. So what gives? Why did that happen? Well, quite simply, it's a very powerful level of resistance. And this is something we discussed yesterday. There are quite a few different reasons to believe that Bitcoin would stop out here. First and foremost, 28,545 is a huge level of resistance. Now, what do we do with this fact that Bitcoin has rejected here? What do we do with this? Should we say that the bull market is, not the bull market, because we're not talking bull market here, but should we say this rally to 31.5 has failed? No, I think that there is a lot more bullishness to come. But we first have to understand why this correction is happening. We have to realize that Bitcoin went through a major rally from 26,000 all the way up to 28,500. It was about a 10% movement over the course of 7 days. That was a very big movement. That was over 1% a day. And so there were some profitable trades that you could have, and hopefully you did make there. Bitcoin goes through natural cycles of rally and correction, and that's not a bad thing. That's exactly the way it's supposed to be. Bitcoin goes through rallies, here, for example, then goes through corrections. What we're looking for is a general trend. The general trend of Bitcoin has been up. We've set higher highs, and we've set higher lows, and that's what we want to look at. That's what we want to be excited about. And that's where we want to be happy with kind of our lot. We want to be happy that Bitcoin is in a general uptrend. And we look at these other technicals out on the daily chart, and we realize that no matter what Bitcoin does here, if it drops a little bit, it's not in terrible shape. We have a green candlestick that started on Sunday that started at 27K. We're now at 27.4 on the drop. We've got the buy signal that's confirmed. We've got LuxAlgo's bullish. We've got RSI that is bullish. So why is Bitcoin correcting? One of the things that I want to point out to you, and this is one of the reasons why I say danger in the thumbnail, is that we've seen RSI march higher and higher and higher very, very, very rapidly. But that RSI has marched all the way up to 67. The previous two rallies that we've seen this year, I'm talking the two major rallies. We're talking March's rally right here, and then May and June and July's rally right there. Those led RSI only up to about 71, which indicates that we could be setting a major top right now since we only went to 67. That's part of the danger that we're looking at there, is that Bitcoin did get pretty overextended relatively quickly. The other danger is that if we do reject from here and we're not able to hold this downtrending level of support, which is probably where we're going to at this point, then that's where people might say, okay, we're just setting up for a massive double top with a top right here, a top right there. We're double topping roughly at 28 to 28.5, and then we're going to capitulate even farther to the downside. The fact that we're correcting here could be dangerous, but I don't think that's the real story. I wanted to share that. It could be dangerous because a lot of you guys are probably thinking, oh my gosh, goodness, this is very bad. This is bad news. Bitcoin's gone through a correction. We are up a creek. What I'd say to that is that I don't think so. I think Bitcoin is actually in good shape, and I think Bitcoin needed to do this. Look at this rally. It's about the same size as the previous rally. It's about a 10% rally. This was about a 10% rally. That's healthy. If these two rallies are in proportion, then this correction was 6%. That means that this correction might be around 6%. So what if we drop down to $27,000? That's where we've been seeing the majority of our trading on the peaks up here in recent memory anyway. If we bring up VRVP, then you're going to see that that is the beginning, about 26.6. Right down there is roughly the beginning of all the VRVP support that we set with all of this trading that took place relatively recently. That would also be a bounce off of the downtrend. So even if we do go through a correction, another $1,000, even if we go through another $1,000 of correction, all we're doing is confirming that we've broken this downtrend and we're using it as support, which is essentially what we did during the last major rally. Now, of course, we haven't rallied straight to 31.5 just yet, but we also didn't have the announcement of the largest asset manager on planet Earth filing for an ETF, and they've basically never been rejected for an ETF application. So we don't have that same kind of fundamental catalyst that just moonshotted us back here, so we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to have to grind through the resistance. That's okay. That's a healthy thing. You know, there's this sentiment in our society that if you have to do something the hard way, then it's unfair. No, that's the way life works. That's capitalism. That's a law of, like, society, of nature. If you want to do something with great reward, you've got to put in great effort. And so that's what you see in business, is that you get what you put. You get out what you put in. I had a teacher in high school. I won't say who, but she was very strict. I remember one time that she was. I had two friends, and they were dating. We were in ninth grade. We were in this academy, so it was like really prestigious, right? I mean, it was an academy, it was whatever, but it was an academy, right? As a programming academy. And so she told the class, "Oh, there's no dating in this academy. We have to be very strict. We have to be on our game. We're just working, and we're not doing anything else except we're doing the work, and we're not dating, and we're not having fun. We're just working." And everybody was just kind of like trying not to laugh where she could see it. We were all like hiding behind her Macs, just kind of giggling, like, "Yeah, right. It's high school. What do you expect is going to happen?" And so my dad gave her the name the Sarge. So she was the Sarge, right? Life's a little bit like that, though. One of the things that she said is if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. She called it GIGO. She'd say, if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. And so she would just walk around saying, that didn't work out very well. Did you put garbage into it? And I was, sometimes people can be a little too straight to the point of being mean, but sometimes you need to hear it. And it's the same thing with your charting. It's the same thing with your market. If you're going to put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. So we shouldn't expect that if we have garbage going into our fundamentals that we're going to get exceptional results. To the same end, but not so severely. We're not looking at garbage fundamentals right now. We're looking at very strong fundamentals on Bitcoin as always. That's why Bitcoin's been going through just this massive decades-long bull market. That being said, the principle of what you get in is what you get out is very true. We're not getting a lot bullish in right now. So we're getting in, so we're getting out. We've got to wait for, really good to come in. That being said, that long-term back pressure of strong underlying fundamentals is what's driving Bitcoin to the upside right now. Make no mistake, there are different kinds of fundamentals. It's not all just, the fundamentals. Very easy to say that. It's like, the science. Well, what's science? There's a lot of science, right? The data. What data? The polling. What polling? Polling, right? What's the data? There's a lot to it. The fundamentals, there's two major kinds. There's short-term, let me see if I can find a good word for this. There's short-term topical, and there's long-term fundamental. And so the difference is the long-term fundamentals are things like Bitcoin having a limited supply, things like the block time, things like the hash rate, things like the overall sentiment of important economies, their sentiment towards Bitcoin. Then you've got the shorter-term fundamentals like BlackRock deciding to announce an ETF. You've got the XRP case being one. You've got Gary Gensler attacking the cryptocurrency market for being securities. Those are more shorter term fundamentals. Those are the topical fundamentals. They take place in an instant or over the course of a day or two, and they're really important for a day or two, and then they're not very important for a while. You've also got a kind of fundamental that can go from one to the other. A longer term fundamental can become a short term topical fundamental and become very important if something changes. For example, if you're Solana and you got hacked again, or you get an outage, right? Then all of a sudden this longer term idea of, it's unstable turns into, crap, it happened. Right, and that hadn't necessarily happened in a while, but you get my point. Conversely, a shorter-term fundamental, such as BlackRock announcing an ETF, can turn into a longer-term background fundamental. So BlackRock announcing that they were going to file for an ETF application was a short-term event that led to short-term price action, but then it kind of faded into the background, and it's just kind of there. It's just kind of in the back of our mind. It didn't disappear. It's too big to forget about, but it's not driving movement right now, but it does provide this sort of buoyancy for the market. And that's what we're looking at right now. Bitcoin is not dealing with some kind of shorter term, massively bullish fundamental. Now, of course, there are the futures that we talked about that are coming out. There's SBF, but honestly, what happens with SBF doesn't ever really do anything bullish for the market, no matter whether it's good or bad. But of course, you've got the futures, but there's already some futures out there. So there's not a whole lot of short-term topical fundamentals, but there's that long-term back pressure. That long-term back pressure is what's kind of giving Bitcoin this umption to start an uptrend, but it needs some kind of catalyst to send us to the upside. So here's the deal. We've talked a lot about the background fundamentals on Bitcoin. We've talked a lot about the technicals. I want to talk a little bit about what this correction is going to look like, where it's going to go, and then how we can move to the next side, to the upside. Let's go ahead and read some chat. Really appreciate all of you guys in chat. Social Missionary said, remember, October to February 2024 is the bull market time. Many investors are joining cryptocurrency market this winter, BTC to 30 sooner than you can expect. I do agree that we'll be at 30 sooner than you expect. Classic IT guys in chat said, hello. Hashtag FinSov. Good morning to you, Classic IT guy. Dustin Pierce said, have any suggestions on hardware wallets? There is a hardware wallet that I am pretty excited about. Actually, I've got it right here. Free shout out. Not sponsored to say this or anything. Wasn't even sponsored. They just gave it to me for free. Boom. Tangent. I think it's a pretty solid wallet. If you haven't seen it already, I did put a video out on it. And if you look it up, it's still ranked #1. So people seem to like it. You look up Tangent Wallet, boom, it's right there. Mass adoption through excellent user experience. You can check that video out. I think it's pretty good. It's a good entry-level wallet. If I'm going to store tens of thousands of dollars on a wallet, I might put it on a different wallet. But as far as the kind of day-to-day transactions, I found it to be pretty solid. All right. Crypto asset holders say, good morning, sir. Good morning to you as well. Good morning to you guys. Bitcoin will be at 30K by the end of this stream. If we stream for a month or two, maybe. Never done a month-long stream. Already liked the stream, Spartan Deluxe said. Thank you, guys. By the way, if you haven't liked the stream, consider liking the stream. I really appreciate you for tuning in. Let's go ahead and keep going here. So the next phase of what we need to talk about is how far is Bitcoin going to fall? On the hourly chart, there's a couple of things to consider here. First and foremost, there is a pretty obvious level of support that we're contending with right now. It's the local highs that we set back over here, the local highs that we set back over here. Bitcoin's backtesting those. If Bitcoin falls below this bottom, it's probably going down to this downtrend, and there is a trade opportunity there. I would caution you to use very high risk-to-reward ratios if you do enter this short trade that I'm about to give you. I recommend you not using my exact numbers because I'm not trying to give you exact numbers. I'm not sitting here and spending 3 hours trying to figure out my exact trade setup. So this is just a dummy kind of idea. I am going to be a little bit imprecise when I set up these little example trade setups. My goal here is to run you through the general thought process, but I'm not going to sit here and go through my usual system of looking at 15, 20 different indicators, busting out Fibonacci and all of that. I'm just kind of giving you an idea of something that you could consider. But here's an idea of a trade setup. If Bitcoin does break below 27.3-ish, somewhere in there, it's probably going to go back down to the downtrending level of support. At least go back down to maybe somewhere like right here. So there's absolutely a trade you can make here. You could easily make a trade down to about 20, let's say to 27. Let's see if this works. See if Bitcoin. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm the most confident in a trade setup quite like this, just because it's going to be difficult to ascertain the exact levels. We don't have any very exact levels. I said I wasn't going to bust out Fibonacci. I was mistaken. I am going to bust out Fibonacci for just a second to see if I can find something here. Wrong way. See if I can find something here. Let's see. Where is... Okay, one's right there. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to remove some of these drawings. You're just kind of seeing some of the ways that I would go about trying to find a trade setup here. Let's go ahead and remove that for a second. See if I can find a good short here. So that's interesting. You can see this level that I originally put there is sitting in the golden pocket. So that actually gives me quite a lot of confidence that that's a level you're going to want to pay attention to. So you can see this. Let me just remove the Fibonacci here for a second. You'll be able to see this line right here I showed you represents kind of some bottoms that we saw. And I just kind of drew that from charting. If you bring up the Fib, you can see that the top here to the bottom, giving us that Fibonacci extension. First of all, we went to 1.618. Which was 28.5. So this was a great way to set up your trade. By the way, Fibonacci is incredible for helping you find the levels that you need. It's very, very powerful. Most traders use it, and you should too. But it also gives us this level, the golden pocket here. So if Bitcoin does fall below its current support, it's not a bad call to say that it could end up going down here to about 27, just about $27,000. $27,000 a level too. So a trade right in here is not actually a bad call. I think this is a decent trade setup. I'd want to do more analysis on it, but I would not be bothered to go into a trade like this. And you're basically at the entry right now. So if you want to take this, you can. I would recommend doing more analysis before you enter a short like this because you are betting against the overall trend, which is up. But there's absolutely a potential there for profit. And it's not all the way down to the bottom because a lot of times you want to kind of break up a few different trades into, break up one big trade into a couple of separate trades. So here's a potential. Is Bitcoin going to go down there? It's hard. That's the level you'd be looking at. And MACD's bearish, RSI's bearish. This is one of those trades where it looks pretty good, but I'm not quite totally sold on it. If you're not quite totally sold on something, you might want to wait. Yeah, take profits right there. I don't know. I think that I'm on the fence. I think it's a decent trade, but I'm not just in love with it. So take it with a grain of salt. This trade right here, it might work. It's a 5 risk to reward ratio. It's pretty good. About a 1% target, 5% leverage, 5x leverage. Use leverage responsibly. Always use stop losses. Free disclaimer there. If you do that, that's a pretty good risk to reward ratio. So I don't know. It's definitely a potential trade that you can make. If you're more risky, then I'd take it more seriously. If you're more conservative, I'd probably wait. Now, the other trade that I want to talk about here is the actual bigger trade, and that is if Bitcoin breaks 28,545. If Bitcoin breaks 28,545, then that's where we start getting into the conversation of, okay, there's a big swing trade to be made here. One of the things that I want to break down for you is what happens if we break above 28,545. Well, if we break above 28,545, a couple of things are going to happen. First and foremost, Bitcoin is going to rally to the golden pocket. It's probably going to pause right there. That golden pocket is important not just because it's there, the 0.618 to the 0.65. It's also important because the bottom right over here, and if we bring up our VRVP, then we're going to see a world of pure imagination. No, we're going to see that there is a pretty big peak right here on the VRVP. So if Bitcoin does confidently break 28,545, you're probably going to see some fireworks. That being said, those fireworks might not have that much gas. And so Bitcoin, let's just grab that VRVP again here and stick a level right there. Change the color so we can see it. Nope, not the fib. Change the color so we can see it a little bit easier. I'll just set it as white, actually. Nice and in your face. All right. If we do break above 28,545, there's a trade setup. And I think you'd probably be seeing that trade setup moving somewhere into this region. So, of course, you'd want to set the entry a little bit above the previous high so that you're confirming that you're at a new high, so that you're getting rid of some of that risk of double topping. Enter somewhere right around here. If we looked a little bit more, we could probably find a level or a moving average or something to give us some kind of clarity. I'm going to go ahead and move this so that we don't be dogmatic about 28,545 because in this context, it's actually a couple of dozen dollars higher. This bottom right here on August 23rd, or excuse me, I'm sorry, August 1st of 2023. And then this high, right, that bottom and this high are actually more right, like around 28,559, not 45. So that's about $15 higher. So you'd enter your trade a little bit above that. You kind of fiddle with it, somewhere around there. And then you probably enter your exit right around here. And that's going to give you about a 1.5% profit price. Target profit. That's about a 4 risk to reward ratio. You can fiddle with the stop losses and everything to get the risk to reward ratio in your favor. I do encourage you guys that if you enter either one of these trades, that you watch them manually. Because if the market goes through here, you might get $10 from your exit and you might think, oh man, I don't know if it's going to finish. It doesn't look like it has the gas to get all the way to my take profit. I'm going to close 0.1% early, right? And you're not exactly going according to plan, but that's okay. Sometimes you need to adjust a plan on the fly. You know, it's a very famous quote Dwight D. Eisenhower said, and, you know, somebody else probably said before him. I'm sure people have been saying something like this since the dawn of mankind. But basically, planning is invaluable, but plans are useless. It's important to plan, but oftentimes you have to change the plan. It's okay if you get into the trade and you're 2/3 of the way to the take profit and it looks like it's going to run out of gas to go ahead and close that in profit. It's better to do that than to dogmatically stick to the plan and then fail. So those are just a couple of trades that I would consider looking at with the current zeitgeist of the market. I think there's a lot of value in those trades, and I think that if Bitcoin goes into either one of those directions, that's probably the way that is going to do the movement. Good deal. All right, let's go ahead and read some chat. Let's see. Let's see here. By the way, guys, one more thing I want to talk about before I even start reading chat. By the way, if you're enjoying today's stream, hit the like button. Really helps to support the content here. LuxAlgo. LuxAlgo has given us this buy signal, and that's really important because if LuxAlgo has given us this buy signal, we need to take that seriously. The buy signals have been remarkably accurate so far this year. Every time we've seen a buy signal, we've seen a major uptrend. Right? We saw this one, which is a bit of a fluke, and we've explained that multiple times. But the 4 really actually confirmed buy signals. And this one was not confirmed because Trendcatcher didn't confirm. That's your... By the way, with LuxAlgo, the strategy I give you, Trendcatcher confirmation is your basic confirmation. If that confirmation is there, ignore the signal. That's my point. Completely and totally ignore this signal. It's not even there. You're blind to it. It disappeared. It's got its cloaking device on because Trendcatcher didn't turn green. If it turns green, that doesn't mean you just dogmatically jump into it. I'm using that word a lot today, but that doesn't mean you just fly into the trade. No. It means that you consider the levels, just the same way we're doing here. I'm not telling you for sure that Bitcoin's going to move to the upside over the next 5 minutes because it's got a buy signal on LuxAlgo on last Thursday. No, I'm giving you a short and a long because Bitcoin could go in either direction, but the general trend we expect to be up. And we want to see certain breaks of levels to allow that to happen. Nevertheless, I've shown it dozens, hundreds of times on the channel, but LuxAlgo has an incredible win record. Absolutely remarkable win record. Incredible win record. If you go back here and back test every time you see a trend catcher confirmation with a buy signal. These 2 times, for example, buy signal, trend catcher confirmation, 58% upside. Here, candle close, 42% upside. If you want to be a little bit more conservative with how you measure it, this isn't really how you necessarily do it. You'd kind of do it somewhere in the middle, but close of the green, close of the red, still plus 17%. Although you'd see this buy signal coming in about halfway through the candlestick, and you would have exited up here before the red anyway. The red is to open a new short. Just so you know, not to close the long. That's a mistake that people make with LuxAlgo sometimes. The signals are your signals to open. They're not your signals to close. You're not waiting until the sell signal to close out of the long that you entered into here. You'd be closing out of this long because there's, first of all, you hit all-time high, and you're starting to see the Fed go through QT. You're starting to see that this is November of 2021. I almost said last year. It was 2 years ago. November of 2021. About 2 years ago, you were seeing the Fed started QT. You saw the Fed was talking about interest rate hikes. You saw the, troops building up on the Ukrainian border, and you're like, okay, I think we might be about to go into a bear market. And then you also see over here on the RSI, this huge bearish RSI divergence. You know what you do? You exit here. You get out on November 10th. You don't wait for the sell signal. The sell signal and the buy signal are your entries. They're not your exits. So even if we go against the actual strategy and wait until they've confirmed of the sell signal, you're still getting like a 17% bullish movement, 17% gain there. The point is, LuxAlgo is very good. And if you haven't gotten it, I would recommend signing up for it. You can use coupon code JEB30, JEBB30 for 30% off at checkout. Use the annual plan as well, and you're going to bring that monthly price down from about $68 a month to like $28 a month. You're going to save about $40 a month. That's almost $500 a year that you can put straight into investing. Here's a strategy for you. If you are trying to get into trading, you can spend $68 a month on LuxAlgo and then get into trading if you want to do the month-to-month plan. And I would understand some reasons why you might want to do that. Here's a different thing you could do. You could get the annual plan using our coupon code, and you save yourself $480, and then you invest $480 over the course of 12 months into your trading portfolio. And then you've got $40 extra every single month pouring into your exchange that you can then use to build up a principal. And as the principal's building up, you're also building up your skills, and boom, now you're actually trading with experience. Now you're thinking with portals. Who gets that reference? Cake it a lie. Good deal. All right, well, let's go ahead and read chat. Like I said, appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Good morning to you, Jeff, from Morocco. Good morning to Morocco. Good morning to Morocco. Never been to Morocco. Would love to visit sometime. I was just telling my wife this morning, if we ever go on like a week-long trip, just the two of us, I want to go to Iceland. Who's ever been to Iceland? I know it's not 2017. It's not the fanciest, it's not the most, anyway, a lot of people were going there back in the late 2010s. But I would love to go to Iceland. It looks so cool. I want to go sit in a hot spring. That's what I want to do. Who's ever been there? That is funny. I'm my hero. I don't know. All right. Let's see. Texas loves you, Jeb. Thank you. By the way, again, want to give another shout out to our wonderful Discord server. If you guys have not joined our Discord server, you absolutely should. Bunch of stuff going on over here. A lot of activity. Like I said, we had about 10 or 15 of us. I think that it ended up being 11 at most. There were 11 people that joined yesterday. And even since yesterday's stream, we've seen like another 10, 15 people join. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Hang on. I'm going to look at this off screen. Aha. That's funny. How about that? We've got a Crypto Jeb that joined the Discord server. Huh. The account's a month old. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and ban them real quick. Who wants to see me drop the ban hammer? I haven't dropped the ban hammer in a while. Here we go. This is a fake Crypto Jeb because I'm the Crypto Jeb. And my account is 6 years old, not a month old. Click this button. Ban. Spam account. Delete any. Boom. Ban hammer. Oh, man. Feels good to use the ban hammer on a spammer. Feels so good to use the ban hammer. All right. If you haven't already, make sure that you go ahead and join the Discord server with the link in the description box down below. The reason I showed that, actually, is because I want to go through here and give a shout out. Crypto Granny joined. Shout out to Crypto Granny. Trader Beast. Professor Mike. This person. Be up. This person. I don't know what this name is. But we'll go ahead, drop member status on all these folks. Shout out to all of them. And I do still need to get the actual system set up to automatically member you guys after account verification and all of that. But shout out to all of you guys who joined. And welcome to the Discord server. As I said, a lot of work that needs to be done on it. Got some plans for today that I'm going to be doing some stuff with that. But we now have the Discord server active, and you guys are having a blast over there. You guys are having an absolute blast over there. It's a lot of fun. Got a lot of plans for it. Really enjoy jumping in a call and getting to talk with you guys in like a face-to-face interaction. Shout out to OMAC. Was in that yesterday. Really appreciate all of them. Bans will make them dance. Yes, it didn't drop an alert that I banned somebody. Man, I wish it would just drop like the Thor emoji with just a boom, like it does when you actually do it in the user interface. I just wish it just posted that somewhere. I need to set that up. Anyway, guys, that's going to have to wrap it out for today's stream. More content coming today. As you guys know, we've been uploading 5 days a week for the last week and a half, and I'm very excited to be doing that. It is extra work, but I'm so glad that I'm doing it because I miss doing daily uploads. I'm working on getting a system and a schedule in place, so those are coming out on the same time every day. They've got kind of a system behind the scenes for the planning, the research, the editing, the post, all of that. As you guys know, we're a much smaller team right now, and that's the way I like it, but some of the drawbacks of that is that I have to do everything myself, so I'm not against that. I enjoy the work. I love every single part of what I do, from the research to the recording to the editing. I'm actually very passionate about all of those parts of the chain, but I've also got a lot to do, so I'm doing my very best to systematize all that so we can bring you a video every single day, at least 5 days a week, because you guys have been really enjoying that. The analytics have shown it. I'm looking in the analytics this morning, and I'm seeing that the viewership on the channel is double, which makes sense because we're doubling the content, right? We're seeing more subscribers coming in. We're seeing more watch time coming in. And that's really encouraging. So shout out to all of you guys who have joined over the last few days. Shout out to everybody who has subscribed to the channel. If you are new here, thank you guys so much for subscribing. And I really do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun here. We're going to have a lot of fun over the next several years. I'm very... Kavik said his is better. Kavik's apparently watching the stream, lurking. Hi, Kavik. Hi, Jay. All right. Anyway, like I said, I have a lot of fun with the channel. Very excited about where we're going to go next. Really excited to be kind of going back to basics, getting the server up, getting the videos up. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, as I said, I'm going to wrap it out. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling.